Music has been used alongside film and TV for as long as the format has existed. The overture, which is a term also used in theater, is a song or theme that plays before the show begins, and it also made its way to film. The overture in film is a song that played before the movie started while the opening credits rolled. But what I want to talk about today is a piece of media that we call the theme song. A short theme or song, usually between 20 seconds to about 2 minutes, that plays before the show you're about to watch. Theme songs, or openings, which used to be a huge staple for television, are now being rushed, forgotten, and overlooked. So let's take a look at the lost art of theme songs. Back when television became popularized around the 1950s, the main goal of the theme song and the opening was to introduce the characters and the cast.
John Provost as Timmy.
So usually these theme songs were very character-focused, you would get some shots of the actors, but also it was very useful to set the tone of the show before it started. For example, if you listen to this theme, and then this one, and this one, you get a pretty good idea of what to expect from the show. Whether it's going to be sci-fi, psychological thriller, or Lucille Ball smoking 10 packs of cigarettes a day.
Have you tried a Philip Morris lately?
Tastes so good.
Sometimes these openings would also collaborate with animators. I'm thinking of Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie, which kind of did the same thing that Pink Panther did in its movies and had the credits rolling with all the cast, but also had a nice little animation to watch. I feel like back then, way before streaming, the main point of the theme song was to let people know that their show was on and they had, a few seconds left to finish up what they were doing so they could sit down and watch their show. I mean, take Coronation Street, which is one of the longest running shows ever, I think, I don't know, ask my mom. The electric companies in the UK were actually able to predict when a surge was going to happen every day because people would turn their kettles on at the same time as the Coronation Street theme because they were getting ready to sit down with a cup of tea and watch their show. And so theme songs in this era really did have the power of bringing the family together, notifying people when their show was on, and creating an atmosphere before inviting people into the TV show. It was even more important to have a catchy theme song with children's television because kids can't read. And so if they can associate in their minds a song that goes with their favorite show, that's a great marketing tactic. And it's also just a great way to get kids excited to watch a new episode and to start making links in their mind between music and TV. It's great. 2 different formats coming together. Love to see it. And there really is so much power when it comes to attaching a song to a brand. I mean, Hawaii Five-0, for example, I've never watched a single episode, but my dad watched them a lot when I was growing up, so I know that theme song really well. Or think of game shows. I mean, The Price is Right and their whole come on down mentality. That became like a huge catchphrase for the show. And when theme songs become recognizable like that, you get something like the Benny Hill theme song, which has been reused and basically memed for as long as it's been around. And it becomes a representation of not only that show, but the style of scene that we're about to watch. Like, you hear this and you're like, okay, people are gonna be running in and out of doors, there's gonna be like some physical gaggery happening around here. Theme songs also became really important for skipping exposition. When a show has a really unique storyline,
The ship's aground on the shore of this.
but they don't want to explain it every time, they just have it in the theme song. So if you've never seen the show before, you get the idea and then you're ready to watch the episode.
Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence.
Now, in the 70s and 80s, there was a huge boom in family sitcoms. Theme songs that really stand out to me as really influential for the format were like The Brady Bunch,
Till the one day when the lady let this
Full House,
everywhere you look.
Family Matters.
Reading the good news on the newspaper page.
Those theme songs really became the style for family sitcom openings. Back then, there was also a lot of original music written for these theme songs. I'm thinking of the Golden Girls theme,
Thank you for being a friend.
the theme from MASH, the theme from Happy Days, which became really popular songs outside of the TV show, just recognizable anthems. And so having a song that is so memorable and that people will listen to it even if they don't watch the show makes a really good impression on the show itself. Openings also played a really important role in establishing setting. So if we look at MASH and Happy Days again, and even The Muppet Show,
It's The Muppet Show with tonight's guest star, Mr. Joel Grey.
Just by looking at the opening, you know where we are, what's happening, who's in it, and also what media we're working in. I mean, The Muppet Show, we're working in puppetry. Look at our Muppets, we have so many Muppets, this is what you're in for. I hope you like puppets. You're about to see a lot of them. This is also a time where television was being mass-produced more than ever before, and there was also way more diversity in the targeted audiences you could have. And so these intros were sort of like a pitch of sorts, right? You're like pitching the show to your target audience. Look at what we have to offer. Here is our style. Here's our idea for our show, wrapped up in one song and one opening. Like a lot of the time, you can get the entire concept of the show just by watching the theme song. And this is what continued on into the 80s and 90s. But before we get to the 90s and the 2000s, I want to talk about anime openings. Because I want to highlight that over in Japan, they have like a whole different formula and respect for what an opening should be. For a lot of anime, they have these super long, almost like music video length openings, and sometimes they change every season. So just by watching the opening, you get kind of a glimpse at what's going to happen in this season. You get to see all the characters, and some of these openings became incredibly iconic as well. I mean, One Piece, Evangelion, the Pokemon theme song. Do we really want to live in a world where that never existed? And yeah, I don't really want to sit through 2-3 minutes of music every time I want to watch an episode, but I think it's really cool that they have this like whole style behind it and this whole other different culture of theme songs. Like, you imagine if you wanted to watch Family Guy and there was just like a 3-minute like cinematic music video of Peter and Brian mogging the camera. But anyways, let's get to the 90s and the 2000s. This was sort of an experimental era for the theme song, I would say. We're seeing some of the most iconic theme songs just due to their originality and their reimagination of what a theme song can be. I mean, let's look at Seinfeld, which clearly has a theme song, but it's sort of more of a song that plays throughout the show. But the opening itself is actually more just Jerry doing a different stand-up set every show.
What is that, lady? What is happening here?
No thanks.
It's a really cool way to introduce the show, and you get to watch a stand-up set every time.
What is this? How could this be?
And it's also kind of an integral part of the show because he is a stand-up comedian in Seinfeld, but they don't want to show him at work all the time, so they just put it at the beginning of every episode. It's kind of genius. And then there's... which of course blew it out of the water with this fully orchestrated classical piece. They also did something really interesting, which is where they changed a part of the opening for every episode. For every episode of The Simpsons, there's a different couch gag. So the animators came up with a bunch of different couch gags, and it's really fun. It makes you want to catch the last bit of the theme song. And also they do it with Bart on the chalkboard. He writes something different on the chalkboard every episode. The changing of the opening every time was also used in Bob's Burgers, where he has the different name for the extermination van and for the store next door. And so yeah, this is a time where animators were getting really creative with how they wanted openings for their show, because cartoons, you can do kind of anything. I mean, Looney Tunes back in the day just had like a circle. Their song is super iconic, of course, but it was really just there to like kind of ease the viewer into the show. There weren't that many visuals happening. And then you look at a cartoon from the 90s like SpongeBob, which is, it's kind of mixed media the way that they do the Captain. With Tom Kenny's mouth, it's a theme song that establishes that it's a show for kids, but it also establishes that there's some weird in this show. And for every SpongeBob episode to have like a fully painted title card is beautiful. It's a great way for artists to kind of give like a precursor to their art. It's an impression of what the episode is going to be. This era was also used once again for skipping exposition, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
They were able to make a theme song that was sort of a rap song, which is pretty representative of the era and the setting of the show, and tell the entire backstory that they needed to tell so that the viewer was ready for the episode, which also emphasizes the episodic nature of certain sitcoms. If you know that all the backstory you really need is going to be in the first minute of the show, then you can kind of get an idea of how intense the actual show is going to be, or like how much you're going to need to really focus on it to understand the plot. Now, in the 2010s, we kind of saw a resurgence of the classic theme song that we saw back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. I'm looking at the Friends theme song, and this is sort of reminiscent of those family comedies that we were seeing before. You've got the cast of characters, they're kind of acknowledging the camera, they're having fun, playing around. It's really just a way to introduce the cast more so than what's actually happening in the show. And then we've got Mad Men, which is sort of reminiscent of like James Bond or even like Pink Panther with the use of animation. And it gives a really good impression of what the tone is going to be of the show. The Office and Community, which are some really iconic theme songs, are again used really just to focus on the cast and on who's going to be in the show. One of my favorite Canadian sitcoms, Corner Gas, is again very classic style, just one camera swoop around all the characters. Here's who we've got, okay, we're good, let's go into the show. Now this is very contrasting to a lot of the other theme songs coming out around this time, which didn't show the cast or characters at all. A show that did not age well at all,
Bazinga!
but has a really, really good intro is The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory as a show tried to take a bunch of people who were nerdy and make them relatable. And the theme song, which was sung by the Bare Naked Ladies, a band that was kind of nerdy but also kind of cool, went through the entire history from Big Bang to present in one song that was kind of hard to memorize, but if you were really nerdy at the time that Big Bang Theory came out, you knew that song by heart. And so it's really interesting that a show that was trying to appeal to like nerd culture had a song that was actually like super cool and actually did appeal to nerd culture at the time. Then we have Breaking Bad's theme song, which is very soundscape focused. The sounds that you're hearing try to give off and replicate the tone of the show. And we see this again with Better Call Saul, where we get sort of these snapshots into the world instead of a snapshot of the characters or the cast. And the songs for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are somewhat similar but different enough to give off the right vibe for the shows that are interlinked, but like clearly not the same. Like I feel like the theme song for Breaking Bad, it's very Walt, and then the theme song for Better Call Saul is very Saul. Like it's a bit lighter, it's got like some twang to it instead of just like the dark, ominous Heisenberg Breaking Bad theme. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Malcolm in the Middle do a very similar thing where they give sort of snapshots of the setting and the era and what we're kind of going for thematically here. Rather than focusing on the plot or the characters or what we're about to see, it sort of immerses you into a world based on what we're seeing, what we're feeling, the sensorial experience of the show, if you will. I especially love the Malcolm in the Middle theme song. It's so early 2000s, teen boy, rebellious, kind of, yeah, I love it. Orange is the New Black is really interesting because instead of showing characters from the show, they actually have shots of actual prisoners, or I think ex-cons, rolling while the theme song plays. And this just adds another layer to the show itself. It adds like a vulnerability and a realism to the show, which I really love. Now, by the end of the 2010s, theme songs were getting a lot shorter. Now, if we look at Modern Family, How I Met Your Mother, these are shows that have very loud and in-your-face theme songs, like, okay, here are the characters, let's get back to the show. Like, they really rush through it to kind of try and, like, grip you in and then toss it aside. It's like, we don't want the theme song to take up too much time from your viewing experience. This was also around the time where people had DVRs, streaming was just starting to come out, so people started to have the ability to skip the intro. And so, of course, producers didn't want to spend more time and money on something that people were just going to skip over anyways. We also have some shows now that have super short openings. I'm gonna call these like micro openings, like Fleabag and Black Mirror, where it's really just like a one note, flash the title card, and we get right back in the show. And for those two examples, it really works well with the tone of the show. I mean, Fleabag is a very like chaotic, witty show where having just like a one note bang is really effective. And for Black Mirror, I feel like that one note really just shows the like severity and the intensity of some of the stories. But I think now, in the 2020s, we are entering a renaissance of theme songs, I hope. Severance is something I watched recently that has a beautiful theme song with really great animation that I'm not gonna watch every time, but I was really happy to see that it changed in the second season compared to the first season. And the animation style, along with the music, it just represents the psychological torment and the abstract ideas that the show is trying to push. Another Vince Gilligan theme song that I think works incredibly well is Pluribus. It's very simple. I love the a cappella voices in it. It really reflects the loneliness that Carol feels in this show, and the visuals you get in the opening are such a simple and effective way of representing the hive mind. And the song and the visuals together just make for a really creepy, it's kind of a comfortable, creepy theme song, just like the show is. I love it. But honestly, there just straight up aren't that many theme songs anymore that I can really think of that are coming out right now. I think a lot of shows just skip over the theme song entirely, or we skip over them, but I kind of miss theme songs. I think it's a great way to help immerse the viewer into the setting. I think it's fun to see the cast in a different environment, and I just really love when musicians and cinematographers and animators collaborate to make something really special that represents the work that they're all putting together. Let me know if I missed any of your favorite theme songs or openings. There were a lot to choose from. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.